I can't be in something where Mr. Bitcoin is about to go down big. Mr. Bitcoin is big, big, big.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and the crazy part about Jim Cramer is his inverse performance. Yeah, do the opposite and you'll find that the number of times his calls are wrong will put you ahead. Should you want to get his inside scoop, he does have an investors club where you can join for just $300 a year. I have some wonderful breaking news before we get into more difficult topics in this video. From today, there is a new source of grants to developers on the XRPL, the not-for-profit XRP Gold Coast Wave of Innovation that's going to take place in Australia in March, which has no connection to Ripple or the Ripple X developers. Will be giving out grants that are not constrained by anything other than its own objective criteria. More to follow. I didn't think I was going to be interested at all in the Sam Bankman-Fried case, but I have to admit I'm finding Tiffany's uploads on Twitter to be fun to watch, and Caroline is likely to be pressed more on her statement that Alameda employees in a meeting November 2022, she told them to siphon off billions of dollars of customer money and it was by the direction of Sam, being his idea. So the saga continues, and the personal details about their dating, yeah, she seems to be eagerly wanting to answer those types of questions, according to Bloomberg. But we do have more serious coverage, and that would be from attorney John Deaton. He's going to be assembling experts and non-experts to really dive deep into the case this next week. I think that should be very good. And before I forget, I did read online that the Brass Knuckle Publishing Company of his book is putting together an Audible where it's actually John reading the chapters. That should be really great. All right, let's get into the heavier stuff. This is about Corda Settler. It's a piece of software that was written back in 2018 by the company R3. And it really has a lot of history to it, actually. SBI, the CEO, Mr. Kitao, really wanted R3 and Ripple to work together. And at that time, when it came out, XRP was used in a proof of concept. So the open source software, which can utilize any digital asset, is there in GitHub. It's been sleeping for 4 years, and the code supports the proof of concept. That's what was shared here. When Chad shared it, he didn't put a source in there, which is really unfortunate. Now, anybody can deploy and use any asset they wish, but this doesn't mean that R3 is using XRP. And we had people who have not been around for a while say that I was just spreading FUD, that this didn't have anything to do with a proof of concept, but instead they really want to believe that XRP is being used by R3. I had to go deep into my videos, and I found my video from April 2019 where R3 explains just this. And you'll hear at the 2-minute and 35-second mark that XRP, when he was asked in a Q&A, why did they use XRP? He said it was to prove the concept on a testnet for the Corda Settler patent. I was happy to see that Neil Hartner weighed in. He is a developer for Ripple and is in the ODL, on-demand liquidity section of his responsibilities. He said that the code in the screenshot is publicly available to view and that this code and project hasn't been updated for 4 years. You can draw your own conclusions from that. And I told him, yes, I found the exact page in GitHub earlier this evening. Corda Settler hasn't been touched in years. You can check it out yourself on GitHub. You just go to Corda Settler, and all the public files are available, and you can see that the last commit to the project was November 24th, 2020. We're lucky to have Neil in this space.
So R3 launched the Corda Settler with the integration of XRP as the first crypto. Why XRP, and why is scalable for enterprise payment and settlement?
Good question. So for those who don't know, Corda Settler is it's an attempt to make it easier to settle payments from Corda applications, even if there is not cash on ledger. So people talk in the future about central bank digital currencies, and they talk about having real money on the ledger. But right now, what we have on enterprise or business blockchains is we have business processes, but money is still in traditional banks, or it's on cryptocurrency networks. So what we wanted to show was, let's imagine you've got an insurance contract on Corda, and I need to pay you. I'm paying your claim, £10,000 or whatever it is. How do I complete that process, and how do I pay you in a way that removes all ambiguity? I pay you, and I can prove that I paid you, so then we're done. And you can't claim you didn't receive the payment. I can prove that I've done it. So we came up with a pattern that we called Corda Settler that allows me to say to you, how would you like to be paid? I'd like to be paid in yen or XRP or whatever it is. What proof do I need to give you that I've done it? I then go and pay you. I prove I've done it, and we're done. And that's quite boring. It's really useful, but and it's interesting to me. But I think a lot of people don't get excited by it. And yet, I think it's a really important pattern. So the first version we did, and I think it did excite a lot of people. We said, well, you know what? If we just did it with a traditional bank, maybe it wouldn't be that interesting. So I think we surprised a lot of people. And the first integration we did that I think really captured people's imagination was to say, here's how you can settle if the recipient wants to receive XRP. So we showed how Corda could talk to the XRP network, and we did it on the test network, and we showed how you could send that to the other side and prove that you've done it. We've since subsequently started work on a second integration to Swift's GPI. So now we have an example of doing it with a modern cryptocurrency network and also with a traditional banking rail. So and it's open source, so anybody can add any other ones. But I agree. Are there were there specific examples of people then who wanted payment in that way? It was mainly for me at least, it was to prove the concept.
Okay, let me just give you a little bit of a backstory, just a sliver. The two companies, Ripple and R3, were engaged in a legal battle back in 2017, and it was over an agreement to purchase XRP. Mr. Kitao, the SBI CEO, has a license to use Settler, and he'd been urging both parties to reach a compromise. As he told the audience at the Tokyo Blockchain in 2019, he was a keynote speaker, which, by the way, was standing room only. Now, after that settlement occurred, he aimed for the fusion, as he called it, of R3 and Ripple. He expressed in many shareholders' presentations that he wanted to use Corda Settler as an example of that fusion with XRP. But it never came to fruition, and Corda Settler was built, and so the open source software has just been sitting on GitHub. And not totally related, but just a little bit of fun trivia. Zinfin, which is the original parent company, if you will, to the XDC network, they used to be listed in the R3 partner directory with a big, huge splash page. They first appeared in 2019, and at that time it was very unique. Well, it was a very unique listing among the partner directory. If I can remember correctly, it was the only crypto that was listed. And now you can see, if you use the Wayback Machine, you can just find the directory page, but all that information has been scrubbed. And for the HBAR holders out there, this is a good one. Yes, we have King Solomon doing a very nice video when he traveled to LA with his team and was able to interview the co-founder, chief scientist, and just overall amazing guy at HBAR. Yeah, he is actually the inventor of Hashgraph. And so just listen to this short portion that I clipped for you. It's very inspirational.
Tokenization is big. Everything of value in the world is going to end up being tokenized. It just really is where we're headed. And as I said, we're seeing huge uses now for cross-border payments, for tokenizing real-world assets, allowing you to borrow against them, all sorts of interesting things.
Eric Cobalt XRP asks, so we've got a question from the XRP community for Hedera. What are you most looking forward to for 2024 and 2025? Outside of the Hedera ecosystem, are there any other networks that you find interesting with what they're building out from a use case or utility standpoint?
Yes. So first of all, yes, I find other ledgers interesting, and I find the industry as a whole interesting. We are an industry in its infancy. And so the industry as a whole is going to expand outward and dominate the planet. I mean, really, every part of society is going to have ledgers as part of it. And so I'm very excited about the other members of our industry. And so I actually make a very real effort not to say bad things about other blockchains. Sure. Because you could fight over the piece of the pie, but right now the pie is growing and we have a whole world to grow into. So we wouldn't be wanting to fight with each other. So I think that is good. I think in the next couple of years, we're going to see more and more of these real world applications. We're seeing this right now. I love that we're seeing that. We're going to see more features in our ledger. We're going to see more council members. We're going to see more of the community creating new projects and new kinds of things that we haven't even thought of. We're going to see a lot over the next 2 years, I think.
I'm going to have one of the developers on the XRP ledger take you out. That would be the CEO of XP Markets, Atur Kirjakulov, and he's going to tell you about the XRPL Zone in Austin, Texas that happened last month. It's a brand new concept, and it's a way that they are promoting the XRP ecosystem. So until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
The first thing I would like to highlight straight away is that this time, I believe it was first time ever, when Ripple rebranded into XRPL Zone, so it was fully dedicated to XRP Ledger rather than Ripple itself. It's a huge step forward for everyone in the community who is building on XRP Ledger. You see this zone and it already brands XRP Ledger. And you, oh, that sounds interesting. Like, what do you guys do? Are you like layer 1 blockchain? Are you a scalable solution? And this helps to kick off the discussion straight away. You can definitely see how the narrative changes and how people view it differently, because first they used to come to Ripple and they're, oh, XRP, I know XRP. And some people do not differentiate Ripple from XRP, and this is already where the confusion was. And obviously, I have to shout out to other projects because we were one of them. There was also Crossmark Wallet. So this is the guy who is creating really amazing browser-based plugin for interaction with XRP Ledger, and we have integrated him into XP Market. We had XRP Cafe. So these are the guys who are working on NFTs marketplace, pretty much the largest marketplace on XRP Ledger. Also was great to chat to them. There was a free payment solution. And there was Homecoin. So these are the guys who are working with real estate and kind of like trying to bring real estate into the blockchain.